Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, and today we're at Phoenixville Country Club in Chester County, a delightful and beautiful 9-hole golf course that is celebrating its centennial this year. You know, Hugh Wilson had a hand in designing this golf course, and we'll talk to Matt Dever, the head professional. He'll give us a tour of the links, and we'll also talk to some former champions, both men's and women's, and members of the Centennial Committee to see what's in store for its members and those who would like to consider being a member here at Phoenixville Country Club. Back in a moment, more from Phoenixville right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.
Got a young golfer in the family? Whether their dream is to grab a national ranking or just have more fun on the golf course, sign them up for the Philly PGA Junior Tour this summer. It's competitive play on premier courses for boys and girls 18 and younger throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Perfect for gearing up for the next high school or collegiate golf season. Available to both new and competitive golfers. Registration now open year-round. Help your young golfers find or improve their game. Sign them up today at phillyjuniortour.com.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf as we help Phoenixville Country Club celebrate its 100th anniversary. The head pro at Phoenixville, Matt Dever, 13 years. You weren't here for all 100, huh, Matt?
No.
I was going to say you look pretty good if you have been. But you know, this is a quaint golf course, 9-hole golf course. You play different tee boxes on the back as opposed to the front, and I'm sure you have some favorite holes out of the 9 or 18. What would they be?
I would say our signature hole would be the second hole here. It's short. It plays anywhere from 135 yards to 146 yards. It's a drop-down par 3.
How much of a drop is that from the tee down to the green?
It's about a 50-foot drop.
So it's significant.
So it's going to play maybe a club shorter. The whole issue with that is you have to aim left on that hole, Harry. Because the green is canted very severely from left to right and from front to back. Okay. So any ball that hits just on the left side of the green, it's going to, during the summertime, it's going to have trouble staying on the right side of the green.
So for tournament play, I guess they always stick it on that left side.
Well, we sort of lose quite a few pin positions with the severity of the slope. So most of the pins are just going to be pretty much on the right-hand side on that green.
Okay, that's number 2. What else is in your favorite list?
I would have to say number 9, our finishing hole. It's just very picturesque.
Par 4.
It's a par 4. It's a blind tee shot. Plays anywhere from 330 to about 350 yards. A tee shot of about 210 yards is going to clear the hill, catch a little bit of a downslope, and give you a nice shot into a green that sits well below the player.
And you have a little hazard there too.
There is a hazard, and it's very difficult off of a downhill lie sometimes for people to find that green. They find the hazard quite a bit.
So a lot of people maybe try to avoid the downhill second shot and maybe lay up, but if you lay up too much, then you got the hazard to consider.
You have to make the decision whether you have enough club to clear it, or if you're just going to lay up and just play for a little 100-yard shot from the bottom of the hill.
And because that's also the 18th hole, that's a great finishing hole for some match play.
Absolutely, absolutely. And our members like to sit right at the top and
let everybody
do a little gambling and know if who's going to make it over or not.
You know if you made a good shot or not, courtesy of your friends and fellow members. Matt, I have the scorecard here, and as I look at it, total yardage, a little under 5,600, I believe, and it's broken up 2740 from the front tees, and then a little more than 2830 from the back. But you're going to use every club in your bag.
Exactly. what we have here is we have 6 par 3s that range from 136 yards to 210 yards. So you're going to hit some hybrid clubs on those holes. We have our 6th hole plays 171 the first time, 185 the second time. So that's where you're going to get that little differences. Some of our par 4s, you're not necessarily going to hit driver every time, because you might only have to hit it 215 yards to give yourself a good 100-yard shot into a severe dogleg right. Our par 5s on the 8th hole here, you're hitting the ball 240 yards into a slope like this, so you're not going to get any run out. So it plays on the card short, but it's sneaky long.
And the other thing is accuracy is a premium here, because it's a Parkland-style golf course.
Absolutely.
It's not, wide open. You just get up here and spray it all over the lot, because scores are going to go up with that.
Absolutely, and it seems like all of the out of bounds for the right-handed golfer, if they slice the ball, all the out of bounds and the trouble is pretty much on the right-hand side of this golf course.
A fade plays a big power fade plays a little better than a high draw that may get away from you occasionally?
Well, no, but I would think, just that little draw would probably be very well suited for this golf course. Mm-hmm. The big slice is not a good shot, as you can see Country Club Road on the right.
Now, is it here on number 5, is it the road hole because of Country Club Road or the entrance to the golf club?
It could be either one. You got it.
Let's put it this way. I'd rather hit the road entrance rather than the parallel Country Club Road, right?
I would agree with you there.
All right. Now, we are standing right here on you call it the road hole, but it's number 5.
Correct.
And on the back 9, that would make it number, 14? And this is a par 5.
Par 5, not a real long par 5 by today's standards. It's 458 yards, I believe. But there's tons of trouble. Country Club Road runs right along the right side.
Parallels the right side of the hole.
Out of bounds the entire right side. There's some very significant bunkers just short of our road, our driveway. Our driveway is about 250 yards to clear that, but there's at 230 and 240 yards, there are 2 pretty deep fairway bunkers, and then beyond the road, there are fairway bunkers on the left side also.
How about the green here on this?
The green is extremely, it's a 2-tier green with a extremely steep slope right in the middle, and it's very, very narrow. The Country Club Road is only 15, 20 feet from the edge of the green, and that's out of bounds.
Now, you told me earlier that one of the former club champions who we're going to meet later on today, Mike Dominic, when you first got here, he said, forget about going for this green at 2.
Exactly. He just said, all you want to do on this hole is get your 3rd shot onto the proper level, because if you're on the wrong level on this green, you have no chance at making a birdie.
Well, Matt, you were just saying about 2 very distinct parts of this green. You have the front level, and then you have the back level. And I can tell you, you won't want to be where we are on the back level, putting down to that pin, huh?
And that's, Harry, that's exactly why I said, sometimes knocking it on 2 on this hole is not necessarily in your best interest. Playing it down to 70 yards and wedging it to the proper level, because say we're back here with that front pin location, we have to hit a putt from here. It's very, very severe.
How do you stop it?
Well, let's see if we can.
Whoa. And then it's off the green.
And then you're off the green.
And then we start all over again. And the other thing about if it is in the front.
Yeah, we have a nice backstop.
You have a nice backstop. That's about a 4.5, 5 foot drop.
You stay right there and let me walk down here.
Right.
I'm probably about waist high.
Right, exactly.
Right there.
Significant.
So it's a significant drop, yes.
Wow. Well, just one of the many, and there are a few other greens of similar size, maybe not the same contour.
Yeah, this would be the only green on the golf course that has the 2 distinct areas, but for a par 5, I mean, this would be, in today's standards, very small green, square footage wise. So all of our greens here are very, very small and relatively narrow. Mm-hmm. So it's accuracy is the key here.
Accuracy over length. Matt, enjoyed the little tour. Thanks for sharing your time. We'll be back more from Phoenixville Country Club. It's 100th year anniversary. And we'll talk to some of the members, see what the plans are, and why they love it here at Phoenixville. Stay with us. More to come on Inside Golf.
From the startup through the 1950s.
You know, golf course superintendents
are the unsung heroes of our great game.
Thanks to the game's efforts,
we now have turf that needs less water
and is more sustainable
and offers natural wildlife habitats on our courses.
If you love golf like I do,
like what I do,
thank a golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
Do thank your golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
A message from the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
Welcome back to Inside Golf as we continue with our look at the centennial celebration of Phoenixville Country Club. Interestingly enough, we're in the Centennial Room here at Phoenixville with two members of the Centennial Committee. We have John Sigorski and John Heiss. And gentlemen, first of all, John, give us a little bit of history about the club and how it got started back in 1915.
Sure, I'd be happy to, Harry. The club was founded in 1950 in June. Actually, it started as a 6-hole club several miles from here, and they leased the land from a farmer who decided he wanted to start farming again, and they basically had the club pulled out from under them, and they found this piece of property on Valley Forge Mountain, bought the land from a farmer, and we've been here since 1915.
And John, you know a little bit about the architecture of the golf course and some pretty big names that were involved, one in particular that helped lay out the original design.
Correct. That'd be Hugh Wilson is often attributed to having laid out the course here and consulting with some of the other perhaps designers and builders of the course. And regardless of who developed the course, it's a great layout on a interesting tract of land and made great use of a small property, and it's a challenging course and definitely has the bones of some Hugh Wilson holes that you might see at some of the other courses in our area. So there is good reason to believe that he had some involvement.
Has it been tweaked a little bit over the years? Have there been changes, subtle changes, whatever?
I believe so, yes. In 1915, our 4th hole did not exist as it is today. The 1st hole was where our practice range is now. And so there was a change with the 1st and 4th, obviously, I think probably to accommodate parking and motor vehicles. So our 4th hole is different from the original layout.
John, going back to 1915, as it was back in those days with most clubs, just a handful of men, I'm sure, got together and said, hey, let's develop our own club. How many, to your knowledge, actually started Phoenixville back then?
Harry, the best we can tell from the records is there were about 80 men and women who formed the country club. They also had tennis members at the time, so it was a golf and tennis club, and it was very vibrant in the early years of the 19th century.
Where we're sitting right now, I understand, wasn't always an enclosed room. Needless to say, they didn't even fathom the idea they would be celebrating 100 years here at Phoenixville.
No, that's correct. Where we're sitting today actually was a front porch with an awning. And several years ago, we closed it in and made our Centennial Room from here.
Yeah, and it has such a cozy feel to it, the whole building. You know, we were walking through, and you have a delightful little members' dining room. You have a banquet room that overlooks the golf course. But there's an easy flow to this place.
We like to liken ourselves to Cheers. When you come in, everyone knows your name. We're a very friendly organization.
All right, since both of you gentlemen are involved in the Centennial Committee and the celebration this year, we have some artifacts here. This is a pretty thick volume. I'm not sure. I guess it goes back to early minutes of board meetings or something like that?
That is correct. This is where we've collected most of our early history from the startup through the 1950s, and much of what happened in the early days is contained in these board minutes.
And we also, in front of John, have an old-style putter. I don't think, John, that belonged in your bag.
No.
This club goes back almost 100 years as well, huh?
That would be correct.
Tim McElvoy. And I looked up there at the list of club champions. His name shows up a few times.
It certainly does.
And as you look on the walls here of the Centennial Room, chances are you may recognize, or outsiders, a few famous people, including one of the best hitters of all time in Major League Baseball.
We were lucky enough to have Stan Musial play here in his heyday of players, as well as some famous Phillies, Bob Skinner for one, and many other celebrities. As a matter of fact, President Harding was the only sitting president to play golf in the Philadelphia area. He played here in 1921.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do we know what brought him to Philadelphia back in 1921?
Senator Knox was a U.S. senator, was a member and lived down the street, and he invited President Harding to come play. And he liked it so much, the first 9, he canceled his afternoon schedule and played around the second time.
You don't have the scorecard available, do you?
I don't have a scorecard, but he did shoot 58 because there was an article in the Philadelphia Inquirer from
58 for 18 holes?
No, for 9.
I was going to say, he should have given up his day job, huh? Gentlemen, thank you, and good job in putting together your Centennial Committee. And it looks like the members are going to have a heck of a year here at Phoenixville Country Club.
Thanks for coming out, Harry. Appreciate it.
We're excited.
Thanks, John.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Well, somebody who's been around Phoenixville Country Club for most of his life is Mike Dominic, and it's paid off for you. How many club championships in what, 45 years?
13.
13. How many near misses?
Quite a few of those.
You don't like to remember them, though, right?
I remember Freddie Chrisman beat me a lot. That's all. I had to wait till he got old.
Mike, tell us what is unique about this golf course?
Well, I think it's the yardage. It's a short golf course. So people look at the yardage, they see 6,000 yards. A normal golfer thinks, oh, that's a piece of cake. But with the greens and the out of bounds here on just about every hole on the right side, it makes it very difficult. 3 tough par 3s. So 3 par 3s and 9 holes. 2 of them are over 180, 175. So it makes it very difficult, for the normal average, even the good golfers. I mean, Jay Siegel came here once in a team match and shot 80.
How many times did he hit driver?
Oh, he probably hit it on every hole. That's the problem. And he never came back after that 80. So Jay's a good friend of mine. Don't get me wrong.
Tell me, we're standing here on the first tee looking out at number 1, which is also, of course, because it's a 9-hole golf course, number 10. And it looks pretty tight. Is it pretty much that way on all the other 17 holes?
Yes, all the way around. It's all local knowledge. Somebody has to point you where to hit it, because a lot of the holes are blind shots, either the second shot, the tee shot. Most of the people that come here that aren't members will cry about the local knowledge aspect. But the putting, the greens are very tricky. That's the other thing.
You were telling me a great story. You had some guys here from Chester Valley a few years ago. How'd that go?
Oh, that went good. They thought they were going to chop it up. And we went out, and the one guy shot 35 on the front. And I said, well, wait till you get to the back 9. And he started laughing. And 46 shots later, he was crying.
Just a difference of a tee box,
right.
huh?
It's all just one difference. It's all mental. It's all mental out here.
But you enjoy it.
Oh, I love it. Phoenixville, to me, it's my home, my family. The other part is, over the years, the members that come in and out of this place, it's a very family-oriented atmosphere. And, that's what it's all about, having fun.
What's your handicap these days?
Well, I'm up to a 2.
Oh, my. How do you live? How do you live? Wow, I'm surprised you're still playing the game. 13-time club champion, and you're a 2.
Oh, Jesus, I'll tell you. Well, I haven't played a lot the last couple years.
Excuses.
But,
all you guys
are
the same.
Harry, old age. The aches and pains are coming out, and the motivation. When you get to be a senior, you just want to go out and have fun. I can't play with Chip Lutz, but I can have fun with him, so that's what counts to me.
I think this guy can have fun with anybody. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, thank you, Harry.
Well, we're with Susan Clayman, who has the distinction of being, the first female member of the board here at Phoenixville.
That's true.
Wow. Yes. You were a groundbreaker, huh?
Yes, back in 2001.
Okay. And you've been here for almost 30 years?
Almost 30, yes.
And you're a pretty good golfer.
I think so.
Well, your record seems to indicate 5-time women's champion. That qualifies in my book and a lot of others as being a pretty good golfer. What are some of the attractive things for women golfers here at Phoenixville?
Well, since I would say the late 90s, when gender equality came into Phoenixville, we now can tee off whenever we want. We don't have any restricted tee times. We get the course to ourselves when it's team matches. They're very welcoming to women. There are a lot of twilight golf events where women can play and sign up with a partner, without a partner.
Now, we're standing here doing this little interview and chat in a small, intimate little dining room, sort of a country flavor to it. This looks like a really neat place to come and enjoy dinner after a round of golf.
It's a wonderful place. Yes, we have a new chef. He's done a wonderful job. It's a very welcoming, sort of cheers-friendly kind of place where everybody knows everybody.
What else? How would you like to sum up? What would you say to someone who is maybe, after watching this show, interested in perhaps becoming a member? I'm going to give you the opportunity in 30 seconds or less to really sum it up for them and say, come on, it's worth it.
Well, it is worth it. It's a good place if you're a beginner golfer because you can go out for 9 holes. You don't feel like you left something and quit in the middle of it. Our women's group, you can be a 40 handicapper or you can be a 10 handicapper. Everyone's welcome.
I know there are some clubs where they limit women when they're beginning to like 9 holes. Well, everybody only plays 9 holes. The difference is you play them twice here.
Correct. It doesn't get any easier, though, some days.
Next, Tom Karpus and Golf Rules.
I think I'm right up here just in the rough.
I think, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. I think you just ran over it.
I think you're right. I think I ran over it twice.
Well, welcome to our Golf Rules segment with Tom Karpus, head professional at Kennett Square Golf and Country Club. And, well, we just committed a cardinal sin. We ran over your golf ball in a golf cart. So now, what are the options for you as a player?
Well, not only did I run over it once, I ran over it twice. But I'm driving the cart, and I drove over my golf ball. Right. So therefore, I have moved my ball in play. I incur a 1-stroke penalty, and I have to put the ball back. Now, the interesting part here is this ball obviously was pushed down because of the weight of the cart.
Twice.
Twice. So we have a rule that says if the lie is altered, you know, then we have to proceed accordingly because there's no way I can get the ball back up because it was up higher. Now, the interesting part of this is the rule says replace. Rule 18, I move my ball in play, I must replace it. In this case here, there's no way I knew what the lie was because we were looking for my golf ball.
I never saw it.
We didn't know what the lie was. We really don't know the spot. So now, instead of replacing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it because I didn't know the lie and I didn't know the spot, and I'm going to drop it as near as possible to where the ball was pushed down.
And that ball's in play now?
That ball's now in play. Now, let's suppose it was your ball, and now let's talk about forms of play. If we were playing match play and we were looking for Harry's ball and I drove over it, well, the rule's broken into 2 parts. If the ball is moved other than during search, I would get penalized. However, if we're looking for your ball and it's during search, then there's no penalty.
So if it's like an accident or something like that,
exactly.
No penalty.
If we're looking for your ball and I happen to move it, step on it, run over it, it's during search.
So you notify me, I come over, identify the ball, that's mine.
And you do just what I did.
I go through the process of a drop.
Exactly, unless we knew what the lie was. For example, if the ball was in the middle of the fairway with a perfect lie, we would know what the lie was. So now it says replace, the lie's been altered, and now the rule would allow us to place it in the nearest lie most similar, not more than a club length, near the hole.
So if you ran over my ball in the fairway and it moved it to the rough, I could then return to the fairway to the nearest approximate.
Yes, because you have to replace it. Now, because it was pushed down, the lie's been altered. Right. A little bit more complicated in that case. Mm-hmm. So now, since we know what the lie was, perfect lie in the fairway, we know what it looked like. We're now going to place it in the nearest lie most similar. In this case here that we just went through in the rough, we were looking for the ball. We had no idea whether it was sitting up real high, was it tucked down. There's no way for us to know that. So since we didn't know the lie and we didn't know the spot, now we drop it.
And next time you're in a golf cart, keep your eye on the ball. Otherwise, make sure you know
golf rules.
Happy birthday to you. You're 100 years old, and we're looking for the next 100 years too.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit PhillyPGA.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Wrapping things up here from Phoenixville Country Club with Steve Fallio. And Steve, you're part of the committee that is responsible for the centennial celebration. How long have you been working on that?
Well, we started basically last year and in the planning stages, and now this year we're at full throttle planning a lot of events. We've had a couple of kickoff parties. We've had a casino night. We have a champions dinner in October, and then we have a gala inviting all past presidents and really all former members that want to participate in December. So it's exciting.
You've been here more than 30 years,
yes.
Right? So you've kind of seen a lot of differences to the club over the course of 3 or 4 decades. What has been, in the last couple of years, some of the things that you've noticed regarding membership, say? I mean, are you getting an interest and people joining who had no attachment whatsoever in the past to Phoenixville?
Yeah, you know, Harry, it's kind of a blend. We have some families. We've had some legacies. We have, I think, a diverse membership at this point. We have a lot of families coming in. I think it's just an exciting time right now for Phoenixville Country Club.
Now, you know, I'm going to give you a chance here as we wrap up the show to maybe entice people, draw them in a little bit. What are 1 or 2 things that people, when they get here, will notice right away about Phoenixville Country Club?
I think immediately is the family atmosphere. I would say that the membership really embraces new people. We try to make them feel comfortable. We go out of our way to set up like an orientation with them. And I think, you know, the features of the golf course, I mean, you got a great 9-hole golf course, is ranked in the top 6 in the entire world. We have great dining facilities. We have social membership that really enjoys that. And I think just the camaraderie that exists here with both the male and the female and the junior members, I think is just, in my mind, the reason I stay and continue to stay. I just love the atmosphere.
And that's going to do it for Inside Golf. Congratulations and a happy birthday to the members and, of course, to the club, Phoenixville Country Club. And I hope, like Steve says, you're in for another 100 years. Thanks for joining us here on Inside Golf. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, and it's never going bad here at Phoenixville, don't pick up. And we'll see you next time, right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.